Hey everybody, it's Q and welcome back to my tapes. Okay, so does anybody feel like influencers has anybody been noticing a trend of influencers purposefully entering scandals? Is that like a thing? Like is am I the only one that kind of notices some of this? So I kind of want to talk about that, and if that's something you're interested in listening to, then keep on watching. So yeah, probably around last year where people were kind of going to parties and people were, gallivanting across LA, the Los Angeles area, and I just kind of started to notice a few things about the way people would just people would have all these like pictures coming out of them at parties or like at functions, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, is this on purpose? Which is why at some point in time, like, regular civilian, like just regular people were like, why are you guys even filming this? Why are you guys even posting this? Why is it that you guys know that the CDC is coming out with all this information, and why do you just keep getting caught on like literal film, like not camera, not this, like you are literally holding a camera, you're literally being caught like just in 4K, and I just oh my gosh, okay. And I'm just like, why do you guys keep getting caught, going to things and going to functions that you shouldn't be going to? And why does this keep coming out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who is leaking this? Like, do you guys have a leak in your team, or are you guys the one releasing this sort of information? Which we can talk about that later, how I feel like some people either they don't have a good camp or they just have like they're just leaking their own information, which I mean, I'm sure a tale as old as time. So it's not nothing new. But in terms of just leaking stuff as it pertains to getting canceled and cancel culture, which I don't like that word because it's like I'm not getting into it. I just feel like people should be able to be held responsible. And so I don't like this weird kind of energy around it, and how I feel like now you want to hold someone responsible and like and cancel. I don't know, and there's something about it that seems a bit anti-black, like because when people start talking about it, it usually starts with like the racism first. Like that's usually when people are like, bro, what are you doing, what is going on here? And they're like, oh my god, cancel culture. I'm like, you're racist. But that's another conversation for another day. Yeah. So as I was saying, I feel as though, when these stories kept leaking, and there was an outrage, obviously, because people were dying at the time that this happened, and people are still dying from COVID, right? People are still facing like reactions of catching COVID, and it's just like you have a lot of influence on younger people. What are you doing? What are you doing? Until I just started to feel like, bro, like, I think you guys are doing this on purpose. And not to be like a conspiracist, I just feel like why do you want to be in the mix so bad? Like, why, first of all, why do you want to be in the mix, one? But then two, why is it that you're trying to put yourself in situations that you know people are gonna get outraged from? I started to do more research, and I was like, okay, this is even a thing with just physical brands. Sometimes, and usually it'll be like racist incidents that they'll put out so that they can get essentially cultural energy and cultural, I feel like, juju. And yo, listen, like I feel like it's like they are trying to acquire cultural capital and cultural outrage and rage from people as a way to like springboard a marketing campaign, right? Do you guys see what I mean? So I started to do research into that in terms of what e-commerce brands were doing, and I started to realize, like, okay, if this is something that companies are doing, if this is something like a Fashion Nova would do, if this is something like a Gucci would do, if this is something like a H&M would do, if you guys remember all of those incidents, right? Then this is surely something a creator probably would do. I started doing some more research. So, like, some of the influencers, and I might throw up their photos. I might not. I'm not really here to talk about specific people. That's not really what I want to do here. But I just feel like I started to look at their analytics essentially. I started to take screenshots of like, okay, this is what happened before they were caught in the scandal and it was all over YouTube and these like channels, and then after, and I saw that a lot of them had grown their following. And that's when I started to piece it together. That's when I started to piece it together. I need to start moving my head. But yeah, I was like, whoa. So these people are doing this as like they're doing this on purpose. Like this is being done like purposefully. Like they are putting themselves and endangering other people around them and then stupidly posting it on the internet so that they can continue to grow their audience. And that's when I started to hypothesize that, wow, like especially for these TikTokers, especially for these people, putting themselves in situations, fights getting recorded, people being at certain types of parties. And I'm like, you're doing this on purpose. Like you are purposefully trying to create a spectacle around yourself and these people that you're probably not even friends with, to be honest. Like I don't really think a lot of these influencers, these people that they meet, I don't really think they're like all friends, but that's another conversation for another day. And I just felt like, wow, like you're creating a spectacle on purpose. And that's when I started to block. That's when I started to block Yana. If you, I don't know, follow my Instagram, I don't know. I don't really care. It's just like I made this post literally, and I wasn't even thinking about this influencer thing, but I was literally thinking about the fact that, wow, there are people, like there are just some things that I'll just see on my feed, and just kind of with the information that I've started to read up on and really trying to look at the studies and look at the data analytics and just kind of read into what the before and after situations are, I started to block people. I'm like, if I see certain foolishness on my page now, I'm just like, okay, this is a spectacle. This is a spectacle in a way that I feel like I don't need to continuously live my life and experience my reality in a spectacle. I feel like I don't need to care about things in a singular lane where this lane is spectacle. I feel like society thrives off of spectacles. Deborah, a French author. Yeah, a French author. Oh my gosh, you guys say I'm struggling. Okay, he literally wrote this philosophical work talking about the spectacle of society, and that's what I feel like I was feeding into. And you know, like I already filter kind of the things that I see. I don't really have like personal social media. And these are things that I've really started to think about, just kind of filtering kind of the spectacles that I see. And I kind of also talk to my friends about it more and more about like these spectacles. There's like a lot of stuff going on, and you're getting sucked in like a way that I don't even think you realize. So yeah, these are definitely some kind of thoughts that I have around influencers and how I feel like some of these situations that some of these people just get in that we just hear about, we're just like, how did I hear about this? Like, I don't know you people. I don't follow you people. I'm not even like subscribed to like these like drama channels. Like why am I hearing of you? Why do I know that you went to a party? Does that make sense? Like, why do I know that you were filmed doing all this stuff? Like, how did I come across this information? So I've started to get really serious about like filtering out spectacles and things that can just cause me like mental distress. But also I've also started to piece together that I feel like a lot of these influencers are purposefully creating spectacles in order to grow and springboard their careers. Whole conversation for another day. But if you liked anything that I talked about in this video, I would love for you to just let me know, what are your thoughts on this, man? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Also, if you have any thoughts on me being an automaton, a virtual YouTuber, let me know. I'm switching it up for the summer. And I don't know, I wish you guys could see my expressions, but I think this is the best we're gonna get. I really wanted to be in a position where, sorry, I'm checking my phone. I'm in a position where I kind of want to continue expressing myself and giving you my thoughts in these tapes. These are my confessions. And so yeah, let me know what you think about this topic that I talked about. Let me know if you like this style of videos. Let me know what you want to see. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. So in terms of videos that I think I'm gonna be making soon, I would like to kind of give a rundown of animes that I watched and that I just really loved, and I don't really know what I want to talk about. God. I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't know what people want to hear, if that makes sense. So that's why I more so ask for feedback. And I know there are a few of you that do comment from time to time. Some people who aren't subscribed, but like are constantly commenting on my videos. Like I do see those. And you know what I mean? Like if you look through my videos and you see some comments, they're from like some of the same people. So thank you so much for the comments that you've been giving. But yeah, next video, I kind of think I might want to talk about some shows that I've been watching. I just finished a book, and I'm not a book YouTuber or anything like that, but I think I want to talk about it. I think it's called A Gilded Crown and Bone. That was a really interesting video. I also think I want to make a video about the Joe Budden situation with like leaked audio, hashtag spectacle. Like, how did this audio get leaked? Do you see what I mean? Like, how did the audio get leaked? I don't know. I don't know if it's really like something that deserves a long video, but it's just something I wanted to talk about. I just want to make videos when things come to me. Last thing I want to say about content, and I'll let you guys go, is I think also, not like in summertime fashion, but I think I might be just testing out videos in general, with just different topics. And so you guys might see like some strange stuff. The only kind of limits for me is, especially because I don't show my face, or like I show my virtual face, but God, is this even like a virtual? Like, no, I don't think so. But you know, I don't really show my face, so I don't really know if I feel comfortable kind of like dogging on like specific people, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like a tea channel. That's not really what I want to do. I just want to talk about my thoughts about stuff, but I also want people to kind of watch it, right? I think I've said this before. If my videos ever like blow up, I'll probably make a Patreon. But in the meantime, I don't mind having like a small community of like 5 people who like to comment on my videos. I think that's kind of fun. And that's actually what my intention was. I just wanted to share my thoughts with people. So yeah, if you see some strange content about me talking about Joe Budden, it's like, for example, I was going to talk about Portia, but I was just like, why? The only thing I wanted to talk about, because it's like, I don't want to talk about her as a person. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to talk about Wheelhouse, like, wow, she's such a this, she's a, like, I don't even think I feel that way, but I did want to make a video about, like, I wanted to start with a question, because this is something that I just feel like I kept hearing. I wanted to pose a question of, if you had a friend who they had a boyfriend or person that was worth $40 million, would you try and scoopity scoop, scoopity scoop, poopity poop? Would you try and scoop him up? And would you essentially sleep around with him and try to get him? You know, because I think that's an interesting question. You see what I mean? Like, those are the sort of things that I want to talk about. I want to pose like questions. Like, I want to pose questions of things. Like, I want to think about stuff. Like, that's the sort of content I want to make. And I want to make sure that I'm not veering. I don't want to veer too much into talking about like people, you know what I mean? And dogging down on people and politics, because I feel like this is supposed to be my escape, you know? So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is a really long conclusion, but yeah, thank you so much. And I will see you in another one of my tapes. This has been Q. Bye.